Nancy joins me now from Cincinnati. Nancy, Elizabeth Warren has had a complicated relationship with Hillary Clinton. You were at the rally. How did her supporters react to Senator Warren's presence?
It was a rapturous welcome for both of them, Vlad. In fact, I've been to quite a few Clinton rallies at this point, and I think that this was the most enthusiastic crowd that I have seen so far. They clearly felt that the combination of Hillary Clinton and Elizabeth Warren was pretty electric and pretty novel to see two big-time female national politicians on the stage together, with the possibility that they could be running mates in 2016. Interestingly, when I was speaking to some of their fans afterwards, they were pretty split on whether Clinton would pick Warren or not. Some felt that that would be a boon to her ticket. Others felt that the country isn't ready for two women. But everyone seemed to agree that whether Warren is Clinton's running mate or not, that Clinton benefits tremendously by having Warren around her, defending her, and especially attacking Trump.
And so, Nancy, you've sort of given us a sense of what voters are thinking and what the pros might be if Senator Warren were on the ticket. What are some of the cons other than the fact that it would be a two-woman ticket?
Well, you know, you've got the fact that Warren clearly helps Clinton among progressives, but she doesn't necessarily help her very much with independents or even with moderate Republicans who are having trouble getting behind Trump. Elizabeth Warren is one of the most liberal members of the Senate, right up there with Bernie Sanders. So she's not someone who is going to help Clinton with moderates. And it may turn out that that's the group where Clinton has the most room to grow, because polls have been showing that a lot of Bernie Sanders voters, those progressives, those young voters, are coming around to Clinton anyway, even as Bernie Sanders sort of inches his way towards an endorsement of Clinton, towards getting out there on the campaign trail himself with her, which we're told could happen in the next week or two. So it may turn out that Elizabeth Warren does such a good job helping Hillary Clinton with that crowd that come mid-July, when the Clinton campaign is making its final decisions about who her running mate should be, and when Clinton herself makes the final decision, they may decide that they have done well enough with progressives that it's helpful to have Elizabeth Warren out there on the campaign trail with her, but that they don't necessarily need to choose her as Clinton's vice presidential running mate.
Nancy, you mentioned Bernie Sanders there. Some people have said that this was a missed opportunity for him to get out there with Hillary Clinton. Now he's already indicated that he plans to vote for her. But he's been sort of out of the picture for a while. I mean, what's going on with his camp there?
Well, his campaign manager, Jeff Weaver, is actually in very regular communication with Clinton's campaign manager, Robbie Mook. They are speaking on a daily basis, and they're continuing to hash out these policy differences between Sanders and Clinton, areas where Sanders would like to see some movement from Clinton in order to give her his full support. And so that's why in public you hear Sanders saying things like, well, I really need to hear more from her. Well, it's really not enough for her to reach out to my voters. She's got to walk the walk. Even as he also says things like he is going to vote for her. He understands that he's probably not going to be the nominee. So there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes, and his campaign does feel that they still do have a bit of leverage with Clinton in this period of time before the Democratic convention to try to push her further towards his point of view before he officially says, okay, I'm endorsing you, I'm getting on board. And clearly, Elizabeth Warren, even though it wasn't talked about as publicly, also had that impact. You heard Hillary Clinton talking today about getting tough with Wall Street. In the past, that's been one of Warren's biggest criticisms of Hillary Clinton, is that as a former New York senator, she wasn't tough enough on Wall Street. So Clinton knows that to get this very valuable, full-throated support from party luminaries like Warren and Sanders, who are among some of the very few holdouts until the very end, that she's going to need to say things that appeal to their constituencies.
All right, Nancy, and finally, so we've talked about Elizabeth Warren as a potential running mate. Arianna Huffington reported on Monday that Hillary Clinton is considering some business leaders as running mates, including the CEO of Starbucks and Salesforce. So does the campaign feel that it needs sort of a business leader to counter Donald Trump?
Well, the campaign has been pretty clear from the beginning that there are some people on their vetting list that most of us would not expect. And they insist that business leaders are on that list, potentially military leaders. They say that they are looking far and wide. So it wouldn't be unusual at all for well-known CEOs like the ones you just mentioned to start popping up and being discussed. At the end of the day, however, Hillary Clinton has made it very clear that her top criteria is that her number two be able to take over in the White House, in the Oval Office from the very first day if anything were to happen to her. And so that would tend to mitigate the likelihood that she would choose a pure business leader, someone who hasn't also served in Congress or in the administration as well, someone who really knows the ropes, the way around not just Washington, but also in particular understands foreign affairs and the military.
All right, to be continued. Nancy Cordes, thank you so much, Nancy.
You're welcome.